Hello and welcome to Vengeance 2017 here at Element Games, and we're Steamforged covering it on Twitch.
So, last game of the weekend.
This is the winner of this game wins Vengeance.
Assuming you've been keeping up with all of the streams, welcome if you haven't been.
And if you haven't been and you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to go onto our YouTube channel and check it back for all the videos, as this one is the last and you don't want to ruin your surprise.
So, assuming you've seen those, gone back and watched them, or you've been watching them live as they happen, 2 players you've seen on stream.
Yep.
So in game 5, so the first game of today, we saw James play against Bryce, and James took the win with his Alchemists.
Yep.
And then we have the Butchers in control of Michael Kuma.
Yep.
Butchers
are in control of Michael.
Butchers are in control.
It's a long day.
It hasn't even been a long day. Can't use that one yet.
Michael's in control of the Butchers, and they took themselves to victory against Henry K in the previous round, beating the Engineers, and it's now Butchers versus Alchemists.
It's the final.
It's the final.
Now, general consensus around the community seems to be Alchemists seemed a likely one in the final.
Yep. And
Don't
Fishermen.
think many would have predicted Butchers.
No, do not think so. Butchers, the Killy team, and the general consensus Killy teams are out for Season 3. Apparently, obviously, Michael proving it wrong.
Granted, he did score 2 goals last game. But anyway, moving forward, I believe Mr. Long was a runner-up in the Masters.
He was
last year
in the Black Orifice Independent Masters. Yep.
So he's a relatively well-known player.
Yep.
He plays a lot of tournaments, as we've already covered in previous games. Michael Kuma, not one I'm familiar with.
No, I don't know him.
Maybe the new James Esland. Obviously, James Esland came in at Vengeance last year, relatively unknown name, and then managed to beat Steve Newton in the final.
Yeah.
So we might be looking at a potential upset here.
Potential.
It's in my understanding that James knows this matchup quite well.
Yes.
He's had a lot of experience, and generally in this matchup in the past, he's favoured Smoke.
Yep. So
which we may see happen here.
We may see. In his local meta, there are a couple of Butcher players that I'm aware of, and they are regular opponents of his. Okay. So I don't think there's going to be much on the Butcher side that will throw a spanner in his works.
Okay. And obviously, Michael Kuma, we don't know a huge amount about. He may have played this matchup thousands of times
as well. And
there were a few instances in the last game where it seemed like Henry was on top, and Michael was able to spot those mistakes and take full advantage of them.
Yep.
We were sort of sat here thinking there was a really obvious path to victory. We thought Michael hadn't spotted it, and then it turns out he was allocating his influence in case that didn't work, but that was his plan to do that play.
Yeah.
He went a peculiar way around it, but he got the result he was after.
He got what he wanted.
So we're going forward. I'll do a quick rundown of the 10s. They're 10s you've heard before, because these are both players that have been on the stream previously, but I'll run down them. So for the Alchemist player, we have Smoke, Midas, Naja, Vet Catalyst, Season 1 Catalyst, Venin, Vitriol, Mercury, Compound, and Harry.
Okay.
And for the Butchers, we have Ox, Princess, Brisket, Boar, Boiler, Fillet, Meat Hook, Veteran Brisket, Tenderizer, and Union support in the form of Minx.
Okay. So I've played both these guilds recently at tournaments, Alchemists being my favoured for the start of Season 3 and then moving on to Butchers at the Rusty Cup. For me, I would have, for this matchup, I'd probably play Smoke.
Which is super defensive.
Go super defensive.
Controlled
Butchers
engagement.
Have to come to me. I take Compound for counter charge, because the only way the Butchers can hit you is getting close to you.
That bubble up around him.
Bubble up around him so that if you come in, he's going to push you away. I'd take, in this matchup, normally I err on Calculus, but I take Mercury, because once the Butchers are on fire, if they can't get in, generate that momentum and clear fire, their game plan sort of falls on its face.
No Calculus within the 10, so Mercury would have to fill that role.
Yep.
Something that's interesting around that Compound strategy is, if I believe Michael's favoured Fillet, she's one of those players that will tend to be way off ahead of everybody else.
Yes.
Which Compound loves. He's very happy to just one player. It means you don't have to even think about the counter charge.
You send it in a missile. All right.
Thank you for those VPs. Much appreciated.
Hold up. If we cut our chatter, they are picking their guild right now.
So we can change over to the pitch. Selection.
So it looks like we've got Midas, Naja, Vitriol, and Harry for the Alchemist so far, and he's just put Compound in. And for the Butchers, we've got Fillet, Princess, Season 1 Brisket, Boiler, Meat Hook. Very similar guilds to what they've played in their previous on-stream games.
So am I right in saying that
if we have Catalyst on the left for Alchemist,
Season 1 Catalyst here, that's a mirror of what he played in round 5.
Yep.
And if we see a boar,
then
we have a mirror of what we just saw in Game 6.
Yeah. Okay. Your predictions?
So I've got a head scratcher here.
Yeah.
That piece of terrain.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
The obstacle down to the lower left of the pitch as you look at it.
Yes.
When James played last time,
yeah,
I'm relatively certain he deployed within an inch of that.
Yeah, unless TOs have been around and reshuffled the board just because...
And that seems small.
Yeah, but it's huge.
Especially depending on the way the initiative roll goes. Not having that extra boost for Vitriol for the kickoff.
Oh, we've seen Venin. Venin is in the final.
Venin
Look at that.
Final.
People don't think he's getting played. Look at that. And ball comes out for the Butchers.
Ball.
Okay, Venin.
So
who saw that?
And I know I wasn't directly answering your question, but in terms of an impact on the kickoff there, I think that piece of terrain not being where it was in the previous round does have a bit of an impact.
Yeah.
Dependent on the kickoff roll, because we definitely saw James take full advantage of that extra movement
definitely.
as he sort of deployed kind of openly and saw him disappear across the pitch with Vitriol ready. I believe he actually went from that piece of cover across the pitch into the other piece of cover to be able to gain it again. We don't yet have clarifications on what the different pieces of terrain are.
Yeah, we've not heard that from them yet.
So we do need clarification on that. I'm looking at the board and I'm assuming that the logs, assuming they're a barrier, there has to be 6 inches between all the pieces of terrain.
That crate looks kind of close, doesn't it?
Crate does look quite close.
I may just run over to the TO and just clarify all
so if
that.
We can get your mic muted and you just nip over just to make sure that the terrain, everything is as should be, and I will continue to yammer on while they're going on with it. So as we look at this matchup here, I think it probably favours the Alchemists slightly because they can control the engagement. A lot of it does come down to the initiative roll. And they are now, as we can tell, obviously we have the same picture you're looking at, but from here that did look considerably closer than it was previously. Just double checking all of these measurements, making sure everything's correct. So the Butchers, it's the exact same team we just saw. We're probably going to see Philip kick if they kick, and I'm assuming we'll see Vitriol kick if it goes down to the Alchemists doing the kick. And they're going to be aggressive kickoffs. So whoever ends up kicking here is going to be an aggressive kick. It's going to be as far forward as you can possibly get to try and get into a position where you can either recover the ball after kicking it to force your opponent to have to pick it up. But we have seen James try and make use of that crate with his kicks. So if he kicks, I suspect he's going to be kicking it straight towards that crate again.
Oh, yeah. We've not seen that dice roll yet, have we?
No, as far as I'm aware, that dice roll hasn't gone through yet. Or perhaps it has.
Surely it has been, because that dictates the order of...
Yeah.
So
it looks like the Butchers are going to be kicking because they've got the ball.
And they had last pick of draft.
And some deployment coming out here.
Yeah.
Just getting everything in order, making sure it's nice, clean table state.
So besides Harry, there's no... It's not a very condition-y
no.
Alchemist lineup,
and where are we on our favourite topic of melee ranges? So we've got Boar with a 2-inch melee. Is that's it? And then we've got Compound, Harry, Vitriol, Naja.
Four again.
Interesting. Not a condition-heavy team, but we see Venin. Do you think that is a defensive option, knowing you're going into Butchers with the potential of the 4 and 2?
Going for 4-2, Sacrificial Puppet. This model suffers 1 damage. The next time it would suffer damage from a playbook damage result. Target enemy model suffers it instead.
Yeah.
Catch someone out.
It does seem like the Alchemists are going to be set up for defensive here, which makes me wonder if Midas is the right pick. Doesn't Smoke? Do you not think Smoke plays that defensive game a bit better?
Smoke definitely plays it better. Midas is the super solo still.
So this is a game of 2 super solos.
Yes.
I say that. You look at James's game in round 5. Midas did nothing apart from nothing. He scored the winning goal, but up until then, he'd done a Laura goal in turn 1.
Yep.
Turn 2, I don't think he got any influence. And he wasn't in a bad position.
No. Lure of Gold that shouldn't have actually happened on Harry, because Friendly Guild.
Oh.
Yeah. We pulled that one out, but I think that one is minor enough to let slip under the radar. That one's long gone.
So we do need to be aware of that.
Someone says, where are the fish and engineers? Well, the fish have flopped and the engineers have crashed and burned.
But that's pretty fair. So we saw, I believe, the engineers' last hope in Henry K go out last round to the Butchers. And
this is a very spread out,
very wide lineup. Basically, I'm assuming that's just so you covered every inch of the pitch for wherever this ball could end up.
And besides Vitriol and potentially Midas, there's no other first turn goals for this team.
Yeah.
We have got Harry to really push everybody forwards.
So I'm assuming that's Philip kicking.
We see him kick off again. Yeah, I believe we are.
Kicking off. So didn't learn his lesson.
Nope. Although I don't think there's anybody who can do 3 damage on 1 hit in this guild.
No.
Betcat is not here.
Betcat is not here.
Oh, I'm going to have to keep Venin's card close to hand.
Yes, to make sure we get everything.
But he's got some really good defensive technology.
Yeah, I can't help but think that's just sort of like some VP denial.
Yeah, great for VP denial. He's got the 2-8 kick.
Yeah,
to really throw that ball around. Venomous strike, poison fumes.
Because you just ignore him all game because it's not worth hitting
Venin, he's rubbish. I'll ignore him. He can't do anything. Oh god, he's just scored and my team's bleeding.
Yep.
James, he and I have been chatting about Alchemists in just our free time, as friends do, and he has been really raving to me about Venin in his practice games, and I still haven't been able to crack Venin.
So I think a lot of the discussion around Venin is that the captain you see him best fit with when you just read his card and you go through everything is surely best with Smoke. And then you look at a captain who really wants to be activating last, and you look at a player who either wants to be going super late or super early. You either go super early if you're going using him as that tanky model,
as the hold up,
or you want to go in super late to get those bleeds off. And obviously you've got competition for when you want that damage output as to who is going last.
So looking at the deployments, we've got Vitriol at the bottom. Oh, and we're off. Venin spending 1 to sprint. Hitting the fast ground. He's spending 6 inches to hit the fast ground, which means he's have 4 inches back. So a net gain of going 2 forwards.
Yep.
6 forwards, 4 back. He barely left his deployment zone there to get that ball.
The joys of fast players.
Yeah. Oh, throwing his ice around. The kick is failed.
I think that's a double 1.
Yeah. Direction 6, distance 4. That will go behind his line. He can't generate momentum, but that's fine because Naja can just go collect it, pass it along next time.
Naja is such a safe spot for that ball in this. With the just Boar. Only Boar can get anywhere near the snake.
And does Boar really want to be channeling his fury onto a snake?
How long does it take Boar to get to that snake?
Yeah.
Snake's quicker than he is.
Yeah.
The snake's on the opposite side of
the pitch. Yeah, I mean...
Naja just so good at that hold-up game of the ball and against this team.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, no melting body, so he's defense 4, armor 1, but that's a decent defensive stat, especially when you've got 16 hitboxes. There's a really clever thing that you can do with Compound and Venin, where you
give him the
chemical
protection.
resist, and then it's just free armor for him. So he then ignores the first poison, which he puts on himself when he has melting body.
What do you think to the Fillet pick over Ox? Do you think that's the correct call?
When you see that Smoke is available on the opposite side,
you just can't risk it.
You can't risk her spreading fire amongst your guild, and then they're going to struggle to get there because there's no threat modifier besides
you just have
marked target.
You can be so defensive, so safe, just
I've
monitoring all those threat ranges, never really actually having to roll any dice to make that happen. You just throw them down in front, block all the lanes.
Yep. Just have Mercury, put the fire down, maybe throw it to hit someone to get a momentous inspiration from Smoke.
Yep. But you just have full control over the momentum that's given up in that game.
James there measuring 12 inches away from Philip, making sure that his strikers and models aren't being given up too easily. Obviously, the guys in the middle are protected by Compound. If she goes into Compound, she probably has to charge in there, and that's a waste of 2 influence to strip Gluttonous Mass.
Yep.
But it's not a waste, but it's inefficient. Venin is a mistake in this matchup, apparently. Poor counterattacks, which you need into Fillet, apparently. I think Def 4 and Armor 2, poisoning her on the way in, is half decent. But we shall see. Venin is one of these players who seems to be kind of very Marmitey. You either ignore him and don't like him, or, as James has been using him, you really rate him. So We will see in this game if it is a mistake for James or not.
So what's interesting with this Alchemist lineup,
Yep.
even with the powerhouse that is Philip out,
Yep.
where's your target priority?
Yeah.
She's every player on that team. She will struggle to just one round them. They all have defensive tech of some description to make life hell for Philip.
Even Harry, if he's not gone crazy,
Yep.
is a worry for Philip. Because 2 hits, which isn't beyond the realm of belief.
Nope. With no armor.
With no armor is a 2-inch push directly away. We see there Brisket just moving up, pushing away in activation. I believe that token on Philip is Swift Stance from Boiler.
I would
who
suspect
has activated.
so, yeah. Snake going for a pass to Compound.
Ball's very safe on Compound.
Yep.
So Snake there moving 2 and a little bit back. So 4 and a little bit to get back to where they were. And then an inch forwards. Yeah. Opponent says, oh, you can move forward a little bit more if you want to. James, no. I'm good. I don't want to get
shooting down the mind games as early as he possibly can.
No, I'm good. I do not need to get close to the butchers. Oh, the pass is successful. Not using our dice trays provided, making it pretty difficult, but the last game, they're going to play in their comfort zones. Harry is in range, so they can make a 4-inch dodge if he wants. Compound's coming forwards. Staying within 4 of the goal, James just said.
Go on. Compound goal.
I've had the shot and missed it with Compound. After a rush keeper out, sprint up the pitch.
That's because you're bad.
Yeah, 2 dice, 4+. Damn that 25%.
I know, right? Right, that's all the bookkeeping done. I'm
awesome.
good and ready to
back.
To mark some damage, which will come in eventually, I would suspect.
Yeah. Well, ball's on Compound. He's not activated yet, I don't believe.
So did he take the dodge, or did he decide?
He has. He shuffled back off the line, but obviously momentum generated because of Harry.
Just away from Philip, is that?
Just bringing her in a little bit deeper, I guess. Maybe with the fire there. James did not roll to see if it hit Philip.
No,
he's placed it down
in front of her.
Very clever. It really disrupts the path she can travel down.
Well, as we come back to multiple times, don't roll dice if you don't have to roll dice.
Yep. We've got a bonus time pass to Midas. And into the dice tray, and it is successful. And showboating, does 2 negatives make a positive?
No.
No?
Usually.
Yeah. Now, Midas, with his unpredictable movement, Def 5, is fantastic.
Yeah, he's untouchable.
He's untouchable because Boar has activated.
Yeah. He's
missed the draft. Who are the teams?
I will read. I can read those off.
We can get them put it out into the Twitch chat for everybody. One of the problems with Twitch is that you can't view previous messages. So even though we keep posting them in there, if you've joined, you can't see.
Just joined, you can't see them.
There you are, guys. Thank you. Somebody there posted them in. James there just figuring out that if Philip reaches Harry, she can make him bleed, bounce off of him. Yeah. So finding the optimal route. Basically, you want to be outside of 2 inches in a base, and that keeps you safe. Oh, you need to put the ball on Midas, though, if you pass to him.
And there is the ball.
There we go. And
James just explaining every piece of defensive tech going on over there. Just clarifying, if you cover him, you'll be in counter charge range.
Yeah.
Harry is there. I'm in cover.
Yeah. Not said unpredictable movement.
I think everyone knows Midas has got unpredictable movement, right?
You'd hope.
No heroic from Midas.
It's not activated yet.
Oh, it's just the dodge.
That's
so
fine.
Is that stack of 5 Midases that hasn't
is it
moved
5
with
or
him?
6? Yes, it is, yeah.
Okay.
Guys there saying they are enjoying James's clean play. And yes, I agree.
Yep.
When you can show everything via widgets, it makes it so clear. And yeah, as you say, he has the cards similar to us.
Yeah, just
off the table.
maintaining clear information to everybody.
Or Nicholas fillet there.
Slowly starting to creep up the table.
How far do you think that fillet card is going to be?
Do you know what? I think I know why that piece of terrain moved from the last round we saw. I think Michael probably had some cards resting on it.
I'm going to call it now. That fillet card will make it past this wall before the end of the game.
Yeah. Under the wall.
Under the wall.
Just creep under the wall.
Under the wall. How much damage? I'm not sure. I need to move the terrain to find out.
Judge.
No widget left behind.
So just clarifying. James just clarifying with his opponent, making sure that he's got everyone's rules correct.
Yep. Saying
before he makes his, I would assume, move on goal.
So James there just measuring the side of his base, making sure that his path of the base can pass the fire without touching it.
So he's saying side of base there.
In the Twitch chat, order on the left will overcome chaos on the right. Well, we shall see. We shall see.
I mean, there's more order on the right than there was last game.
So far. Yes, there is. You're right.
I'm intrigued to see if those tokens stay in that token box.
No. Here comes a legendary goal with knee slider. That's the call from chat. So, getting the lasers out. What is this, X-Wing?
Jamie, get out.
Yeah, I'll judge that there, just making sure that everything is perfectly legitimate.
Just making sure he's not going to be going through that fire.
Measuring centre of base to centre of base. All this ticking down on this clock.
Yeah, so obviously this one.
Ed there. Oh. Pause the clock. He's unpaused it now.
So using the proxy.
Yeah. Much less cheating on stream. Yes, agreed. Agreed, Van Grundle.
Yes, because if any goes on, me and you are on the case.
Yeah.
We go and shout at him. Wave our book at him.
Hey,
this is what my numbers say.
This out. I healed him. Oh, so sorry.
Either I'm really stupid, or this is the way it's supposed to go. No, you're just really stupid. Oh, okay, fair play. I'll back down.
Understandable. Can't be X-Wing. No one has cheated on stream yet.
Wait.
Just you wait. So, Midas here has got all the influence in the world to do what he wants. So, he's going to put down a super... So, those two influence...
He's put them down just to make sure that he's got his super shot and shot and goal, and he doesn't accidentally spend them.
Yeah. Which is very clever to do. He's got momentum, so he can heroic to get his 2-inch dodge.
Yeah.
If he needs to get a little bit closer. So, he is currently where...
Standing on that. I think he's standing where that proxy base is, but he doesn't want to alter the movement.
3s, he gets 4 net hits, which for Midas, is that the momentous push dodge?
1 damage push dodge.
1 damage push dodge.
I'm guessing.
Or the Midas touch.
It was the 1 damage push dodge, I believe.
So that's 1 damage done to Boar. And
there's the push.
Push to
obviously you can resolve those in whichever order you like.
Yep. To the extremity of 1.
And there he is, just keeping that 1-inch widget. And here's the second one. So Midas's position where he's currently standing is actually the green widget you can see towards the middle of the table.
And he gets 5 hits this time.
And Midas does have the ball. And he goes for a momentous double push, double dodge.
I believe that was your inclusion on the card, wasn't it? You were going after the triple.
I wanted the triple. I wanted the triple push, triple dodge, or I wanted just a trait that said he can add a push dodge to any result he gets. Because that seems balanced and fair.
Yeah. 2 inches. Can he get to tap-in range? Probably not.
No. So he's going to dodge to exactly 10 away.
Because he's got knee slider.
He totally does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't sort of stay. I mean, when you're intentionally making sure you're 10 away, you're just trying to make sure you're as far away as you possibly can.
Yeah, you either go 4 or 10.
Shot.
Super shot bonus time?
I think it's bonus time.
Yeah, you would.
So yeah, so 5 dice shot.
5 dice shot. It's going to miss. 5 dice shots. 100% of the time they miss.
Jamie Giblin maths for you there.
Oh, and there's the legendary. Was it Magnum Opus?
Magnum Opus. So he's looking for a snare on anyone within 4.
Which is the team.
Pretty much, and it goes
in.
And
he nails it.
And that is snare across
so 4
all
victory
those
points
players.
to James Long. and a goal influence, and he just snares everyone, which is pretty brutal.
That's kind of as bad as that could have gone.
Yeah, fantastic. And there it is. Knee slider.
Card. And the plot card, Who Are You, comes out.
Yeah.
So we're going to see that Vengeance token put on Midas. But it's an interesting choice putting it on Midas. And it sounds silly to say it's the captain. Of course, you put it there. You've got one model who can actually hit him.
Yep. Or two have to go after the job. And if two are focusing on him, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because one's wasted an activation to get there.
Yeah.
And if you do it with like a 0 or a 1 influence, you just don't use your unpredictable and you wait for the train to come in and hit you.
Because Boar's basically going to be on base dice with whatever happens there. You're not going to be getting crowd outs.
And because he charges probably to get there,
yep.
You defensive stance, you go ram 6s.
Yep.
And if you've heroic, God help Boar.
Yep. So, rough start for the Butchers, but we saw this last round.
Yep, they
the last round it started real bad. And then there was one, what we perceive as mistake from Henry, where he chose to move Harry forward to get some more momentum and actually gave the Butcher player an option which wasn't actually on the table. And again, we see the Butcher player in that situation where he's basically being threat ranged to death.
Yep. So Twitch chat saying that kind of goal seems far too easy. And as somebody quite rightly pointed out, when you put a 3-0 model that far forward on a team that has threat extensions through passes and they've got the ball, you are inviting that.
Yeah. That's why you need to be super careful when you've got those low def models.
Yep.
You do want to, push them up the pitch. Obviously, there's no point in taking them if you're not going to do something with them. But you need to be aware of the threat range of the models that your opponent has, and be aware of where they can and can't go.
Yep. So there's something that you should do with your boars, your veteran catalysts, your staves, your bricks, is you have them as the second wave. They are not your vanguard. They are not the spearhead that go in and kill someone. They are the mop-up team who very reliably finish up what Philip's not done.
Yep.
And
then they can push forward from there. But basically, once those models are past halfway, generally you're okay. I mean, I've had games where, granted, this I believe was more season 2, but it doesn't change too much. I've had games where I've gone in on a boar and I've push dodged him using Midas from the halfway line all the way back.
Yeah.
And that was before Midas had Super Shot.
Yep.
But you do need to be careful, but he just didn't, clearly when he brought forward, he just wasn't planning on the 4-inch dodges.
No. All right, so we see a pain circle. And that hit Harry, because she is tooled up. So that was 2 damage on Harry. And does not hit Midas. So Harry took 2 damage.
17 health and on fire? On bleeding.
On bleed?
Yeah, on bleeding.
It's like on fleek, but on bleed.
Oh, God.
Send
help.
Yeah. 2 momentum generated from that, though, which I don't think's worthwhile.
Yeah. I mean, it's peculiar here. Oh, in the last game we saw Michael playing and we were like, kick it off to the side. Keep the ball out of the way. Don't let the ball be any more part of this game.
Yeah.
Depending on the way this activation goes, it may have been better to kick that into the crowd.
Yeah.
And try and score. Win the initiative.
Yep.
Score again. Turn the tide of the game.
Yeah.
Without the ball, he can't get momentum. Without momentum, he can't get rid of snared.
Yeah.
And as long as he's snared,
he's
kind of not in a great place. Like, say you kick that.
You keep putting that fire AoE down.
Yeah.
In front of people, and they have to clear snared, and they have to go around it.
It's just such good zonal control.
Yep.
You got the backup squad from Compound.
Yeah.
So that's just the end of the turn, I believe.
Yeah.
He's just...
people in stream this, Vitriol is at the bottom of the screen, and Venin is that model on the top left-hand side. So
3 damage for the bleed on Harry, and I believe that is the only condition damage out on the pitch. Is that correct?
Yeah. Condition damage. It's only snared.
So initiative does go to the Alchemist player, and he announces that he wants to measure something out ahead of his allocation, as he has every right to do. It's on his clock.
Yeah, it's all on his clock.
Just making sure the clock is running there.
Yep. So times at the moment, there's 34 minutes for James and 38 for Michael. So obviously James there spending a bit of time to measure out his Midas move. Has cost him 4 minutes, but he's got 4 VPs. TPs.
And just so much control over the flow of this game.
Yeah.
But he knows as long as that snare condition is on Boar,
Boar's not in it.
Midas is so safe.
Yeah.
I mean, Boar, even if he clears that snare with the momentum that he obviously gets from losing the initiative roll, he can go in on any player he wants.
Yeah.
But the one player who's the only one he can get in on.
Yep. So
the only one in the
James
team is Midas.
Taking the first. Oh goodness! I think we might see a second Midas goal, first activation.
Quite possibly. So I think he's going to move up to that first widget.
Yep.
He's going to go for a push dodge or maybe the double dodge.
Yeah.
If he can get it onto the net. He's aiming for that second widget.
Yep. And with only one momentum, he's got to pick his counter-attack very carefully.
Yeah.
If he...
and then he's, I'm guessing...
Well,
I mean, is he looking for a goal here?
I would take it. Get myself 8-0 up.
I'm just find myself questioning how he gets to that ball and over to the goal.
So that first bit's a charge.
Okay,
against
so charge.
a snared meat hook who is def 3 armor 1.
Okay, so that's 4 influence left.
So 9 dice. You take your dodges.
Yep.
You bank in 2 for super shot and...
Yep, so you got 2 influence to get to that ball and in range of the goal.
Yeah, so 10 inches is probably not too far from where that ball is.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he's got his heroic to 2-inch dodge.
Yep.
At the end of it all. So got 6 influence, 2's off for that, 2's off for the shot and super shot, 2 are off for the charge. That gives him 2 to get there and get in range. I think Midas it's doable.
I think it's doable, but I'm not sure it's as nailed on. It's a lot of dice rolls, ultimately, is what that comes down to.
Yes. I mean, what matters most is when, because obviously he can dodge away onto that second.
Interestingly,
bit, and then who does he start hitting, and who counterattacks?
Well, interestingly, the counterattacks will be big here.
Yeah,
because
there's only one coming in, but there is a vengeance token.
Yep.
And if
the timing of it needs to be right.
The timing of it needs to be right because he needs to do it because Midas will just push dodge away.
Yep. That's what he's looking for.
Or just dodge away. The counterattack needs to be timed correctly so that you ruin Midas's or make it difficult for Midas to get there. I think a strong counterattack from Meat Hook is possible. James there just making sure he's at the extremity of an inch. So
very sporting here from Mike. So helping him out with his widgets, making sure everything's precise.
Well, I think both players. It's in both players' best interest to be as accurate as possible.
Accurate as possible. I'm just checking melee ranges here to see that if that charge path goes through any of those.
That's Fillet, isn't it?
And we've got another call for the Pew Pew laser.
Make sure clock is paused. I mean, surely if we've got a 30mm ball path available, that would be the most ideal way to do this.
Bit of a crowd forming.
Mm-hmm.
I say a bit of a crowd. Literally 2 people.
Yeah.
It's more of a crowd than we had for any of the other games.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a final.
Oh,
how exciting. So something we did try to do, as obviously we knew we were streaming and trying to get the setup right, was try and ensure that the table was kind of out of the way, because there's nothing worse when you're playing a really tense game and it's a final.
And there's people
getting surrounded.
There have been many times for myself on top table in various systems where I've asked everybody, can you all just go away and let me play my game? Because I can hear you murmuring.
I can hear the murmurs.
I know
you're making me feel uncomfortable. I'm already uncomfortable.
We've got a roll. So the charge has gone in. Needing 3s. The charge target was Meat Hook.
So he gets 4 successes.
4 successes.
Which isn't the double push, double dodge he might have been hoping for. So momentous 1 damage push dodge. And this was on Meat Hook.
It was, yes.
So she's now on 13. I'll keep you updated on the damage numbers, though. I suspect they're not going to drop much lower.
So push dodging Meat Hook away. There may have been a counter-attack there. I couldn't hear it through the mics.
We've still got the 1 momentum on the green dice of Michael, so I'm assuming not.
Yep.
So he plays Heroic Landing.
Very nice.
So he pays his 1 for his Heroic and gets it back immediately. Really nice play there. Good use of that plot guard.
Yeah.
So now he's got the 1 armor, which means if that counter-attack comes in...
For a boiler.
Now... Ooh, we've still got the Vengeance token.
Yes.
And what is Boiler's knockdown on?
Really accessible. I believe it's 3. 4.
Okay, so the Vengeance token gets that knockdown if he goes for it, but you've got the risk.
He can dodge on 1, and the dog is still there.
What's his hope? Is just to drag someone along with him, push dodge in that ball.
It must be. So he's got 2 influence left.
So he's got 4 left, just to clarify, but he's got 2 usable because he's going to be looking for a super shot and a shot on goal.
Yeah.
So
Momentous dodge to collect the ball.
Dodges to collect the ball.
Staying 1 inch away from Princess.
See, James a bit shaky there.
Yeah,
see, very tense.
Because if all this pays off,
he's 8-0 up.
He's 8-0
in the final with Vengeance.
And Vitriol has 4 on her yet to activate.
Yeah, there isn't really a massively safe spot on that board to put that ball.
No, it's. Oh, he rolls fantastic.
It's a really good roll for the 3 successes.
On the dog.
So he goes for just the
basic 1-inch dodge. Doesn't want to damage the dog. Don't give him love creature.
Doesn't want love creature to proc. So he just dodges forward 1 more, and I'm guessing that he's definitely now in round.
Yeah,
for
that's
super
10
shot
inches.
And a
That is
goal.
plenty of space there. So we've got another shot coming in here.
He's just checking there's nothing else he can do before he takes the shot, because of course as soon as that...
Oh god, they just moved Midas. Oh my god.
That was Midas.
That was where Midas was. You have to put... Oh goodness, that is about right.
Yeah, I think it's just you know that he's going to be 2 inches away from the dog, and we should be able to get a pretty precise placement back on that.
Yeah.
We know where he's going to be. Ed,
someone says it was a mistake using that heroic on Midas. I don't think so. At all that was a mistake.
You need that momentum just to make sure that it's there.
That threat extension, it's cost nothing because it costs the plot card. Yep. He's got +1 armor. He's still got unpredictable movement.
The most important part's the distance.
Yeah,
you need that extra 2 inches.
I mean, the +1 armor is a benefit.
Yeah.
Nobody over there can get him.
No.
There's no momentum besides this 1, which will probably be used to clear something for somebody. The only person who can get to Midas is Boar.
Okay. And both players happy with that placement, and that does look pretty much spot on. So nice work from Ed there to get that correct.
And Screamer.
And it's a goal with a Screamer from Midas, so that is 8-0 to James Long.
So the call there from the player.
So just to clarify, there was a scream that you might have heard through the mic. That wasn't James being cocky or arrogant. There was a spot prize announced just a second ago, but I think it's already gone.
Well, I think a lot of people have already screamed vengeance earlier on in this tournament for that Screamer.
So he's taking that dodge forwards into snapshot range with the tap-in.
Tap-in, snapshot, and...
On 4 dice, because super shot is up.
4 dice, super shot is up. And staying out of range of Boar, because Boar is the only person... I mean, there is a play to get Boar there.
He's untouchable.
Oh, there is a play to get there. You could quick foot.
But what do you do when you get there? Can't kill him.
Push him.
I don't think you can get the kills.
You just push him out of tapping range, have him engage, make it tough to... You go, and then you... Bring someone near. Oh, for God's sake. Come on. Get back within 4 inches. That's not 4 inches.
I think there's a bit of panic coming in Mike here. He's getting a bit stressed. You can see the hand on head. It's definitely not intentional.
No.
We commented on the colour of Mike in the last game he played, and that wasn't the final.
No.
This being the final.
Thank goodness we have
both players are happy.
Head judge there.
Good job having Ed there. And Ed, again, both players happy with Ed's resolution of that. So nice work from Ed there.
Yep.
So what are we looking at? We've got a measurement of the counter charge.
Oh, the rush keeper range. I can't... Without seeing defeatist, it's going to be tough for the Butchers.
I can't see a way back into this.
To get back into this.
Who do you they can't, the lineup taken, as we said at the start, the lineup taken from the Alchemists, it's so defensively strong.
Yeah.
You cannot have those bursts that you can get with the Butchers team of like 2 or 3 takeouts in 1 turn. Philip isn't renowned for that anyway.
No.
She's a very much...
Not since season 2 ended.
So I can't see a huge activation like that. The only way to get back in is goals, but those goals
the goals you don't want to take now that James is on 8. And then they need to kick that ball out before they forget about it.
I don't think they've forgotten about it. I think he's trying to work out. I bbelieve that's a 10-inch widget in his, mouth.
Oh, in his mouth that we can see. There. See Michael holding that 10-inch widget.
That's a 10-inch widget.
Speaking to it, saying, where should I go?
Tell me where I go.
Where should I go? This looks dire.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
can't. Well, okay. If we go back to the pitch, we can assess where we would put it. I would not go to the left-hand side of the pitch. James,
Vitriol danger.
in Vitriol side of the pitch. The safer side is the right-hand side with Venin. He's still not an enjoyable target because he has a momentous tackle push on 2 hits.
Do you kick it off the back, take a scatter from the middle, and just pray? Beat it off the back of the pitch.
Well, wasn't that his game plan last game?
And he won that
I'm going to
game?
go for lucky scatters.
And he won that game?
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be a safe... The centre of the pitch seems ideal to me.
You think just boot it in the centre, see what happens?
Get it in the centre. Where's... so, James here's done very well to put Vitriol threatening onto Brisket.
Yeah.
Because you get around Unpredictable, you get around Charm Mail, you only need 1 hit from your 5 dice.
Something interesting about this choice from James to put Midas that far up into tapping range.
Yep.
He's limited the options if from where he can get that pass to Midas for a snapshot.
Correct.
He's put that in a position where I think, I could be wrong, but I believe Venin couldn't get up and be within 8 inches for that pass. That looks further than 16 inches to me.
Yeah, 16 inches. So he's just come off that. So you look about 8 inches to the middle, 8 inches that side, on a diagonal. I would agree.
So I think that's possibly it's very close. And I think if he had gone a bit further back, rather than going for the being in tapping range and just go for 5 dice, needing 2 4s.
Yeah. In the direction of 6, going 2 inches. Twitch chat suggesting get it onto Fillet and send her after Venin.
Yeah, perhaps.
It's not a terrible choice.
Perhaps.
It takes it.
I feel like you're just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
But
that's what you have to do.
There needs to just slow this game down. We've seen multiple games where it's got off to a ridiculously quick start.
Yep.
Slows down in the mid game, and then you see someone make a break to try and close the game out.
Yep.
And then it just starts a flurry of VP trading backwards and forwards, and you just get to this really sort of weird point where
no one wants
all of a sudden no one wants to be the one to score because they know that they're then putting it in the hands of a missed dice roll.
Yep. Yeah, if Fillet does get the ball and it does go over to, she goes over to Venin, then it is well out the way of Vitriol, well out the way of Midas. Fillet can hold the ball reasonably well.
And it's almost at a point there where James is praying, please take out Midas or Vitriol so I can reposition them and go and get that.
Yeah. Well, I think Vitriol's fast enough to get to the centre of the pitch this time. Safe enough to survive a round of beatdowns.
So we've got some widgets coming out here from Michael, just planning it out. So this is kind of an absolute bipolar of the first game that we started going. So clean.
I mean,
super clean.
That Fillet card's actually retreated.
Oh my.
But Princess has made a surge forwards.
Bring Michael back.
No,
this isn't the Michael we know.
This isn't the Michael that wins. It's like Tim.
That's why he's not come through. He's not in his element. The control room isn't quite set right.
No. Tim at the SteamCon World Finals had to have a beer in hand to win games.
Yeah.
Michael, all his
being an absolute pigsty of tokens.
Yes. Maybe that's how his brain works.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows what.
Calm in the chaos.
Organised chaos.
Yeah. So just requesting the borrow of a measuring tool, and James happy to.
They have 1/2-inch measures on them, which is what he wanted to check.
Ah, interesting.
So 3.5 to the ball, which means you need to go 2.5, meaning that what it may have here, where that might be out of 1 inch at the top of the screen, is that if that distance isn't a 4 that he measured, he gets the extra 1/2 inch and just gets to push everything 1/2 inch forward.
Yeah.
Tape-in use of a sign of a loss.
What's this?
Saying that because Michael started using his tape measure, that's it.
Yep.
He's out.
Yeah, done.
We wholeheartedly agree. Just DQ.
DQ. Use tape
Straight
measure.
DQ.
You're out.
Oh, imagine if that's a great rule for like a custom tournament.
Pretty good rule.
No tape measures.
But
every
stat on every card is a decimal of 1 inch. My move is 7.2. Not allowed to use tape measure, mate. Got to use widgets.
Use widgets.
As soon as I see a tape measure, you're out.
get those millimeter widgets out. Those just shavings of plastic.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the first company that starts making them, which will be mine and Giblin's company, obviously.
Wild Boys.
What, the Wild Boys ink?
Yeah. Is the ink your tattoos?
A good one.
Yeah.
No, incorporated.
Oh, okay. God, we're incorporated already.
Yeah, we're going places. Well, you got fired last game, so I know you're out on a whim at the moment. So I thought I'd come in and help you out.
Thanks.
So there we are with another shot at the gaming centre. Still rammed.
Yeah.
Still tense. Still very warm.
Still very, very warm. And everybody on sort of like the next 3 tables down here vying for second place.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting to see how strength of schedule, the change to the OP documents that is in use at this event, impacts. Because normally you think I lost my game by 10, I'm a shoe-in for
in a good spot
for second. With strength of schedule, you hope you can play strong opponents and beat them.
Yep.
You don't want to coast on these easy wins because at the end of the tournament you'll be impeded for it.
So check on the clock, and I believe it's 29 minutes on James's clock and 28 on Michael's.
That's reversed.
Is that the other way around?
Yep.
So, okay, they're both on about 28 minutes.
Yep.
There we go. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
And the round clock, we've got 1 hour, 9 minutes and 30 seconds on the round clock.
So what are we looking at here? Oh, never
mind.
We're looking at the hall. Fantastic. Great. There we go. Thank you. Back to the final. Oh, don't do this. That's going to annoy everyone.
You're going to regret that one later.
Yeah, you've got to keep that.
You've got to edit that out, Ronan. You've got to fix that up later. I suppose we can take some time while nothing's really happening to have a shout out for Ronan.
Yeah,
He's been sat here next to us on our left-hand side.
Yep.
Just basically sat here watching a game he doesn't know the rules of, trying to pay some degree of attention to what we're doing and have some idea. There's his thumb. Ronan's famous thumb.
Yeah.
He's sat here. Not really a massive idea what's going on. Someone throwing up on the thoughts of that. But yeah, big shout out to Ronan, giving up his weekend to come and sit here to stare at essentially what is a computer screen, which he has no idea what anything's going on, while we tell him, increase that number by 2 or 4.
Sometimes frequently.
Yep.
As he just falls asleep.
Just nods off, tap him on the leg.
Ronan, mate, they've scored a VP.
Okay, I've said it through the commentary that they have scored, so the score is now this. That means you need to update the score to reflect what I just said. And I think it's safe to say we've had a really good time this weekend.
We've had fantastic. We are Go AV Guy, the chat says.
There you go.
We've actually really enjoyed doing this, and we are going to have a look into seeing if this is something we can do in future events, at various events around the UK, to see if it's something that is doable and something we'd like to continue, because obviously it shows off Guild Ball at its best. We get some fun games on day 1 and some high-level play and low-level commentary.
High-level play, low-level commentary.
On day 2. And this ball is still just been placed, not been snapped to, and Michael here running down his clock.
I mean, you've got to, right?
Yeah.
It's so...
we're trying to mark target.
He's going for a mark target from Boilers. He's just left the ball there. I mean, the ball is safe.
The ball's safe there, so you don't need to...
No need to rush it.
No need to rush it. And he is successful on 1 dice.
Nailed it.
Was that sensible?
Sure.
It worked.
Why not?
I mean, it probably means that Philip can definitely charge into range.
Sure.
Into base, probably.
I mean, we saw a bit of Michael in the last game. More than happy to put his fate in the hands of dice.
Yeah, true.
And there we go. That's why it worked. He's back in his element.
Yes.
There's tokens all over the table. Princess's cards making its way up the board. The chaos ensues. That's why it worked.
He's lost his token. Unsurprisingly, it's because they're in that box. You can't see them at a quick glance. There it is. We found his token.
He finds the correct one. It's the one that says mark target, Michael.
Yeah.
Just there's only one of them. Just need that one.
And to ruin the day, here comes an AoE.
There we go.
Of fire.
Enjoy that. There you go. You know those extra 2 inches. Yeah, say goodbye to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Puts that down there. It's not for free. It costs 1. And then he's goading Philip.
Doesn't need to. I don't know why you'd do that.
Well, the reason why is she can only move directly towards him. When she ends her advance,
I think he missed.
Compound punches.
I think it was a bonus timed, and I think it was missed.
Ah, okay. No,
it was
no, successful.
Successful.
She is snared, so I only needed 4s, that's why.
I forgot about the snare.
So, a amazing little goad there.
Yeah, so now she's like...
She is locked down.
Yeah, she's... so you're only allowed to come over here, I'm afraid. And over here is Pound Town.
And here is my friend Compound, who likes to charge people to get near me.
Population 1.
Population you.
Yeah, just you. You, Compound. He wants to take you out on a date.
Yep. Push you around a little bit.
Yeah, just shove you around.
So this is quickly slipping away. James putting on all the stops.
I mean,
shutting down everything.
You look at clock control.
Yeah.
We've just seen what must have been 6 minutes of contemplation on the side of Michael about an activation. Activation? Good English.
Yep.
About an activation, and it comes back to kind of what we were talking about in one of the previous games about the using your pre-measure. He's using all his pre-measures to check his ranges.
Yep.
And he's all that time.
James has
gone. Know that James has just sat there going, cool, do that. I'm just going to do this because I know exactly what you're looking for because I know this is what you need to do to try and salvage something.
James there keeps quiet, doesn't say anything, just let your unlike Henry, who Henry suggests, and James more than happy to let his opponent just do your own thing, mate. You do it. You do you.
And I'll just be quiet. Ask me questions if you want to know anything about anything that's happening. But I'm just going to leave you to it. Leave you in your own head. I don't need to get inside it. I've got inside it by being 8 VPs up.
Yep. And that play there, very strong. The bonus time, the right call, gives you that 75% chance success.
So boiler's activated.
Yes.
The only option to move that ball from where it is...
Princess.
Meat hook, assuming Meat Hook was given no influence.
Meat Hook's been given no influence, and she is snared, so she has a base move of 4.
Yep.
And there is still only 1 momentum for the Butchers that they earned through going second.
Yeah.
Ball there, looked like he sprinted back over towards Midas in the centre of the pitch.
So Vitriol moving up to go.
That looks like just a walk to me.
Do a bit of a punch on Brisket.
Yeah. I mean, you put up Clone.
Yeah, that was just a walk.
Yeah. 3s and 1 because of
the snare.
Oh. Rubbish, 1 damage on Brisket.
1 damage going out on Brisket.
Really looking for the Clone here as that removes all momentum generation. And he rolls Hot Trash again, 1 more damage. 3rd one. He's going for it. He's not paying for Clone. And again, just nothing. Dice have deserted him.
Down to 9. It's got 1 more
final one.
Here it'll come. Believe.
No.
And a momentous push dodge. So
doesn't get the Clone.
It was, I mean, that was just, I guess that's a play you can afford to make when you're in such a strong position, but that was greedy. That was very, very greedy.
Those last 2 influence, I'd have just paid for Clone. You've done what you want to do. Yep. Granted, you are likely to hit it.
Yeah. And the big sting is next to no momentum out of that, which is the reason he's gone for the getting Clone off the attack anyway, is to get some momentum generation, and ended up getting nothing.
Well, he got 1 from the push dodge, but I'd have paid for that Clone because that's your 2 that you've whiffed your first attack, you've whiffed your second attack, you pay 2 and deny 3.
Yeah. So we see the reply coming in here. I wonder if he's going to counter-attack and go for a Clone on the counter-attack. What do you think to that? I think he's that desperate for it?
No, not now. Oh, potentially.
Because he's moved. You'd be trading 1 for 1 momentum.
Yeah.
Because if he stays exactly where he is...
Yeah, that's 3 momentum.
At the very least, you get the push dodge.
Yeah.
And then the Brisket probably just dirty knives, but you don't really care about that.
Yeah. Still, it is probably worth it then. You deny...
I'd probably go for the counter-attack.
And James declares the counter-attack. Yep.
There's no real reason not to.
Brisket hits 3.
Solid roll. Doesn't change the state of affairs, really.
It's 2 momentum damage and a dodge, but the dodge doesn't matter. You might as well stay where you are.
He's gone for the 2 momentous damage, putting Vitriol on 10.
Yep. The counter-attack. Let's see if with 5 dice he can do better. No, he misses.
Absolutely nothing on that. That's really unfortunate. But it was the right play.
It was the right play. His dice had deserted him there, but it's...
And here come in the rail of attacks.
I know this is where we struggle a little bit. She does 1 damage, no momentum.
And just 9 health on Vitriol
and nothing on that one, so...
9 health on Vitriol. So at the end of it, the momentum at the end. Maybe the counter-attack wasn't right. Not that you can account for whiff dice rolls, but...
No.
And now James just questioning the effect of Loved Creature.
Yeah, I mean, this is...
So I'm assuming what you're going to see next from the Butcher's player, you're going to see that momentum used to clear the snare on Boar.
Yep.
And I'm guessing Boar...
Boar's activated. I believe these...
Boar has activated.
I believe so. Maybe. Oh, I think he's using these little red tokens with the squiggles on them, the black bits, to represent when they've got no influence. No, because Boiler's activated, so I think Boar's activated as well.
Okay. So just clarifying that Philip only has one way she can go, and both players agree on that.
I wonder what the path on that directly towards is. I wonder if that comes into contact with the obstacle or barrier.
I don't believe so. Looking at the line, bear in mind we don't have the best view, but looking at the line, I think the edge of that fire template is in line with the edge of that barrier.
Venin here, punching the doggy. Just 1 damage, poison.
1 damage and poison on the doggy, and loved creature gained, but this isn't James making a mistake. He did check what the effect of loved creature was before going in on this.
Yep. Hits again. Damages the dog again.
On 6 after another 1 damage on the dog, and the dog is poisoned also.
So James now has to make the choice whether he wants to...
Yeah, whether he wants to pop the heroic, bleed the dog,
kill the dog.
I don't think he opted for the...
Is he on 6? He's done 2 damage.
Yeah.
And then poison and bleed.
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
Takes it to 7, which will kill the dog. Where's dog got 8?
Dog starts with 8.
Dog starts with 8.
So he's down to 6 after those 2 attacks.
Yeah. So probably not worth the heroic. Keep the momentum.
No, I wouldn't have thought
for counter attacks or just having it.
I mean, at this point, I almost feel like James is just like, well, I'll take what I can get because essentially my win condition is that ball.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go backwards with Midas. I'm going to pick up that ball. I'm going to bounce off, I believe that's Meat Hook in the middle of the pitch. And then I'm going to score another goal
snared.
And win Vengeance with a 12-0. Yeah. I'm assuming that's the play.
Yep. Oh, I think that barrier might come into contact here. Let's get our judge involved if the players can't settle it for themselves.
Wonder if we're going to see any more pew pew lasers.
Get some pew pew laser time. I think they might have agreed that she just can't get there.
I just look at it, bunging out a pain circle.
Yeah.
Just kind of looking for what he's looking for.
Just do anything.
Looking for what he's looking for. Good work, mate.
That's very clever. I think he's just got to do whatever he can to try and
yeah, I've got this massive stack of influence. I've got to do something with it. I wonder if he's looking for this, and then. What can he hope for? Is he up on momentum?
In Season 2...
Yeah, could have dodged.
He could have used that to dodge. Not this time. So, going on to Compound and on to Harry. Someone's doing it on Harry.
Harry gives up 2 momentum for that. I wonder if that's a misplay.
It has to be. And I know you might want to say, I just want to damage people. But you don't damage Harry, not when you are...
when you're up on momentum,
when you are 1 ahead
down
on
momentum.
Now you're down 1 and you can't do anything.
And 1 damage onto Compound, because obviously that is an AoE, doesn't target him, so Gluttonous Mass doesn't trigger on that.
Correct.
So...
Yeah, looking at that there, she's going to...
And the pew pew laser has
coming
been
out.
called for.
Woohoo! I guess he just wants to get into cover, ready for next turn, doesn't want to be counter-charged.
So Ed going for centre of base.
Always the side of base. Side of base gives you a definitive point. Yeah. Centre of base is your judgment on the centre, because you are not a machine.
And Ed calling that the placement.
I mean, the simple thing to do here is to get one of your longer widgets.
Slap it across. Well, I suppose the terrain makes that awkward.
Pin the models in place. Put that up against this side, the side that's not got the terrain on. And slide down the widget and see if it can fit through.
Okay. So apparently it was 2 damage from that. There was a tooled up on...
Been tooled up from Meat Hook, I guess.
Well,
Clock, have a tidy up, the players just said. Michael will take the advantage here to push his cards forwards a bit more.
Just shove them forwards, throw some more tokens over the pitch.
Yeah.
Bit of Bit of Guild Ball confetti. I mean, look at all that confetti waiting in that top corner. In the
top
you can
right
see
corner.
the felt dice tray that Michael's got there. There's just so many things he could throw on the table in that top corner. Just look at them all, just sitting there ready to be flung.
I'm half surprised he's not. Oh, watch this card get put down in front of the goal.
Yeah, you ready to slap bang straight in the middle of the pitch?
Slap Midas away a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So the team there just sorting out what happens.
Discussing what's going on.
Discussing what happens.
Just having a discussion with the judge
a discussion
about
a
the
rule.
rules.
We're trying to just listen in and see what the rule discussion is. It seems to be about the timing of events.
I believe it's down to what is the maintenance phase.
Yeah.
Do we have a maintenance phase each? Is there one maintenance phase? I believe they have a maintenance phase each. It's two separate maintenance phases. And I believe I'm about to get asked that question.
Yeah,
I am. It's two separate maintenance phases.
We do have a rule book on here with us. There you go.
So we just go to the players having a little discussion while the clock's paused. While we double check
the query,
this.
I believe, will be haemophilia. During the maintenance phase, this model heals 1 HP for enemy models in the aura that suffer the bleed condition damage.
Yep.
So I assume the dog suffers the bleed damage. It's enemy models. I'll go over see what's going on.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
Giblin getting a little mute, and I will attempt to cover what is going on here, just trying to make sure that everything gets played correctly. So I'm not going to lie, looking at the board state, I'm somewhat confused as to what the dispute is. So obviously we've got the poison damage out on the dog, so there's going to be some condition-based damage going out there. The dog up by the crate, standing next to Venin. You can see the green poison token next to him. You've got the two models bleeding, which would be Harry and Compound. There's various snares out there. I believe Brisket is pretty much in the centre of the pitch, down towards the bottom, about 2/3 down on the camera. She's snared. You've got Boar standing there, snared. You've got Meat Hook standing in the middle of the pitch, snared. I believe Fillet is also snared and on fire by the looks of it, judging on those tokens. And the ball is sitting just in the middle of nowhere, just hovering next to where Midas is. Midas still with that Vengeance token on him, so that could be big in terms of a counter-attack happening, but I'm not sure if there'll be that option for that to come in. Ultimately, James is in a position where he could just go in, get that ball, get one momentum, and then bang the ball in. So just players having a little discussion about the table state while we get and make sure that we get the clarification on the correct ruling. And it looks like we have a clarification on that ruling. Just double checking my cards. Giblin sat back with me. I don't have to mumble on about stuff when I don't really know what I'm talking about anymore. And Giblin's back to keep me shepherded and under control.
Okay, so just to confirm everything there, the rules lawyers, the Lawyers Guild on the forums have covered this. It is to determine when the initiative order happens. You resolve your maintenance phase in initiative order. So if James in this instance goes first, Harry bleeds, Compound bleeds. That's his maintenance phase done after
bleed goes away.
Bleed goes away. You then go over to the butchers. Fillet checks for bleed. No one's bleeding because it's gone, so she does not heal.
So that was the interaction we were looking for, is whether Fillet heals or not.
Heals in the overall maintenance phase,
and I believe Butchers won that initiative roll.
I believe so. Yes, I heard a cry from James, despite being up on momentum. All right, so time on the clocks. We're looking at 23 minutes for James.
Oh,
and
no, I think maybe the Alchemists won that dice roll. Not really sure. They haven't actually discussed at any point who won that dice roll, and the dice were pretty quickly swiped out of the dice tray.
Did not get a chance to have a look. I've got a way to figure it out. Whoever puts the influence down first won.
I mean, it's
first.
Not the most cutting-edge commentary, but that's probably accurate. So judging on those poisons, we're going to have Harry sitting on 9 HP.
Bleeds.
Sorry, bleeds. We're going to have Harry sitting on 9 HP. We're going to have Compound sitting on 15.
Oh yeah, he's been hit by AoEs, hasn't he, frequently? So that's why.
So it was just one tool up.
AoE.
And then obviously the bleed.
Yep.
Fillet going to take one from. Is she on? Is that on fire? Was she on fire? Did she go through that AoE to get to where she was when she went directly towards?
Because it was the fire AoE was in front of her, blocking off Venom, and she moved down away from it.
So what is this orange token sitting in the middle of the pitch?
Is that a weird influence with a light shining on it? It looks like Butcher's symbol.
Potentially. No. I thought that she had moving forward directly towards took her through that fire AoE. Meaning her movement is currently reduced by 4 inches.
What have you got her at currently? There was a mark of damage on her card when Ed brought it over, so yes, she will have taken fire damage there.
Okay. So she is on fire. And then you've got the 2 damage on the pup. Put in the pup on 4 damage. 4 health left on the pup.
Loved creature is not triggered, as it was not an attack or character play that caused the damage. It was just conditions. So at the beginning of this game, we said that this team is not condition heavy, and I see half the pitch snared.
The thing is, it's not condition heavy, but the Butchers haven't been able to get a foothold to get rid of the ones that were put on.
No.
That's the only time any of those models can ever be snared.
Yep.
All the models that were hit by the snare are still snared.
You've got to clear it. With that last turn when he had momentum.
Yeah.
Accept going second.
So who was it that put the influence down first?
It was Butchers.
So yeah, because this would be surely just some more widgets going down to plan things out.
Yeah.
So he's turning Boar's not in range to do anything unless that's only 4 inches between the two. While snared, he's only
6
got
inches. 6-inch threat currently. Charge up to 4 inches with 2-inch melee.
That's a 4-inch threat. His charge is 6 inches.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, he's only snared. He's not on fire. There we go.
There we go. You're back with us? What a game. What a game.
I know,
so
right?
Far.
It's funny, we've done one less game today, but feels like there's been so much more to try and keep up on.
It's because it's without any disrespect to our previous players yesterday, that everyone's very good. This is a higher level of play, so it requires much more thinking from ourselves.
Yeah, to try and work out
what their most optimal thing is.
I mean,
and when they don't do that, it's kind of like, oh god, okay, so what are they going to do?
No disrespect intended.
No.
You can tell the higher level of planning that goes into these things. So as we're watching it, we need to try and piece together the overall picture of what the plan is, rather than on an activation to activation basis.
Yep. Oh, we have a pass from Meat Hook to, I believe, Billet, and it was successful. And she's taking a 4-inch dodge.
No influence on Compounder or Harry.
And from where she ends up, she can quite happily...
I mean, is the safest place behind that Alchemist goal?
Yeah.
Is that where she might be headed?
Maybe, potentially. I mean, she can...
So engaging Harry
and in cover
is the clarification that we've just had there from James, just to make sure he understands what the intent is on that placement.
Yep. Who picked the ball up? Someone's watching on their phone. It was Meat Hook.
Meat Hook hooked the ball.
Passed to Billet, but before that, it looks like she tooled her up.
Yes. It seems to be a pretty consistent move that Michael goes for in every turn.
Yep.
So the ball and that pile of stuff in true Michael form.
That is fire. You were right. Yeah.
It is a fire one? Yeah.
So she's snared and on fire, so her movement is at -4.
But that little collection of tokens in the middle in true Michael style is on Fillet.
Yeah. Including the ball.
Yep.
Looking at Vitriol here, she can quite happily walk away from Brisket because Brisket cannot do anything to stop her besides a bit of damage, and you are more than happy to do that. James here plotting out push dodge, push dodge, push dodge, push dodge, pass to...
So that 2 influence that we can see, is that on Harry?
It must be, yeah. It was hidden before.
Should you not just go with Harry and knock her down?
No.
Go for that scatter.
That lucky scatter. I think if James thinks if he
So James just picked up a stack of influence, which he appears to. He seems to think he didn't allocate it.
Quite potentially. There's very little.
Yeah, I did when I looked at the pitch, and I was like, so there's 2 up on Venin by the looks of it. Looks like there's
2 on.
Is
he playing 2, 4? Is he playing 5 influence short this turn to give his opponent a chance?
Scripted.
Yeah.
So he's planning a Midas activation. Perhaps that was mean, you do get that point with your tunnel vision, and perhaps he's like, well, this is my activation to win the game. It doesn't really matter what I do with my other guys. If I don't win the game with this, then it's back to the drawing board next turn, but I've got time. Speaking of time, segue.
Good segue.
We have 18 minutes
for Michael,
and we have 20 minutes left for James.
So Vitriol taking the parting blow, I believe, and heading over here.
So yeah, I mean, there's nothing on Brisket's playbook that you're scared of on that parting blow. Didn't actually see a roll on that parting blow.
Don't think we did. Did we miss something? There's no acrobatic or anything. Oh well. Strange.
So Vitriol tackling the ball from Fillet.
Out of range, no counter-attack. She snared, so you actually got... Wow. Just got tons of hits from all the dice, but just didn't care. Just wants
on
one.
Those dice, so.
Yeah.
Looking for the snapshot now.
Passing to Venin.
Yep,
I think minus that range is successful.
Yep.
Needed a 5 because he's engaged by the dog. Venin spending a momentum to make a 4-inch dodge
and
away
the ball
from
is
all the influence.
So safe over there.
All the influence is well
that side
out
of the pitch
way.
is just wide open for Venin to just stand there.
Either pass to Midas for the 1 momentum snapshot.
Running for his own glory.
Or run in
Imagine
and win.
that. Venin goal to win the vengeance.
Wow.
But that would be the clickbait headline, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Venin wins vengeance.
Venin, super solo vengeance.
A team of just Venin on his own.
Venin versus entire Butcher lineup. So guys in Twitch chat asking, is Tenderizer a better choice than Boiler for this matchup? And you don't think so?
I think so, but not on the merit that you might think.
Yep.
I think so because it's a 2-inch melee.
It's a 2-inch melee in Guild. I was going to say...
But I don't think it's the goalkeeper.
It's not like you probably keep him for turn 1 in Rush Keeper range just to cause some
headaches.
The
concern you have with the goalkeeper is like that double-edged blade of using a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You always have that guy covering the goal, but if you're against someone that's fast enough to just use that, you always have a player to bounce off.
Yes.
You're just like, oh, there's a guy standing there with really low def, and I can just stand, get loads of momentum off every time the ball's anywhere near the goal, and I can just reliably score every time. You've got the increase in TN, which is definitely more relevant when it comes to snapshots.
Yeah.
Because tap-in would tend to be what you use. Was Vet Ox in this? So no Vet Ox. So the only other 2-inch melee model in his entire 10 is Tenderizer. So I guess probably was the right call just for the 2-inch melee. But I think that's the main reason. That's the main selling point.
I mean, I think I would keep him there for turn 1. After that, you start bringing him outfield.
Well, I mean, I say the big reason is the 2-inch melee. You've got something you don't have to roll with to knock him over.
Yeah. You've got pulse knockdown. So Vitriol there, just working out what she generated momentum-wise. I believe she generated 2, 1 for the tackle, 1 for the push dodge, 1 for the sprint, and then 1 for the pass. So
Venin taking the activation now.
Yeah.
So who was it that went for the...
Sorry?
Who was it that activated for the Butchers?
Princess, I believe. Oh, no, Boiler, sorry. He's just run around to engage. He's getting right up in Venin's face, taking the poison, just to make sure he is marked.
It's intelligent play given the situation he's in.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
kind of all he could do to try and do something about this.
Yeah, Venin can't do a lot to disengage himself. He's got some pushes.
And he can't take that parting blow.
No.
But I wonder if he's just going to shimmy around staying in his melee zone and be within...
Make the he's got 8-inch kick.
Yeah.
I mean, what he could do...
Bonus time pass, bonus time snapshot.
Yeah.
Snapshot's 1 cheaper.
Yeah.
Because Midas things.
He's a showboater. I mean, he's tack 5, Boiler's in cover, so he'd have 4 dice against 4's 1. He's not... He can't reliably disengage.
So he's... Okay, so he's going for an attack.
So
he's on tack 5, which he has bonus timed.
So he's hoping for 2. He's hoping for 3 4 pluses to push, which he gets. He gets a tackle, not a tackle dodge, tackle push, that is. Oh no, it's a dodge. Sorry, it is a dodge. That's real good.
So Venin's rubbish, mate.
Yeah, Venin's
The internet told me so.
Yep.
And he passes for Midas.
Yeah.
So, does he go for a snapshot? Do you just take that 4-inch dodge, go behind the goal, you're completely safe, and just wait until next turn?
Yeah.
Take your tap in when it's not a snapshot. Don't
yeah.
take the risk. You don't need to. You're completely safe.
Out the way of ball. No one can touch you.
Just dodge behind the goal.
Yeah. I think he's
trying to maths it out, and he's going for the flashy play. But the correct play here is you just take that free 4-inch dodge because it's free. That doesn't cost you anything.
I think we're going for it. And
So the pass is successful.
The pass is successful.
So now he's going for a bonus time snapshot.
Which is
4 dice
and all his momentum.
3s.
I think that's all maybe bar 1 of his momentum.
Is he bonus timed it? He has bonus timed it.
And he's
missed the snapshot.
He's missed it.
I'm not quite sure why he went for that play.
Dodge.
Should have taken the time. He's rushed it. He's gone for the more immediate play. And it scatters 4 to the 3, which means it's straight in the goal. So it's not huge.
It's not terrible.
The biggest part, if
minus is still yet to activate.
If the Butcher's player had any momentum,
he
could clear that snare on Boar.
Yep.
The problem is Boar is kind of stuck there. He's just Midas is gonna come out, push dodge, but Midas will not be safe. From that vengeance counter attack.
Michael there saying, "Get ready for the comeback of the century."
Sure. Sure.
So this is Boar planning out his movement.
I don't know why you would ever send Boar towards the goal. With no momentum.
I think he's planning a free charge on Midas, snap the ball, uses one influence to hoof it away.
Quite possibly.
Michael just confirming there that he
can't score 4 points by scoring in his own goal, and I can confirm that is correct.
Because
so a rush of blood to the head there, it would seem, for James. He's played so well throughout both games that we've watched him in. Played very well. Getting to the final, I'm assuming he's played very well in all of his games.
Yep.
And that just seemed like one of those tunnel vision. It just seemed like tunnel vision. He was like, well, I can do this, I may as well. And he didn't assess his surroundings, realise how safe he was.
4-inch dodge, that's free. You've spent 1 for the shocks, it's -1. You spent 1 to bonus time, that's 2. You just walk into base contact with the goal. You have 2 shots on 3 dice at 3 pluses, and you win vengeance.
Yep. So the charge attack coming in here. That is a lot of successes.
Oh my god,
that is 7 on the dice with a vengeance token.
Is that a momentous 4 damage?
Going to be looking for the concussions here.
Strip him with his influence.
So the Boar card creeps forward, asserting his dominance once again. So he does just pop the vengeance token.
For the wrap.
So he's got 11 successes in total to play with.
4 damage concussion and the knockdown.
So he takes the 4 damage with concussion.
James there played Steamroller. Not Steamroller, that's season 2. Brace for impact.
So just the 3 damage.
Just the 3 damage. Just that. And knockdown. And
I think this is a misplay still, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he's just going to boot the ball away. He did get in range of the ball. So no, it's good play.
Yeah.
Play.
And again, hot fire on the dice.
So real solid dice roll.
1, 2, 3.
6 hits.
6 hits. That's a momentous. No, it's not concussion. He can just concussion though.
Just take the concussion. He goes for 4 momentous damage, which takes Midas to 7 health, assuming my math is right.
Yeah. And then kick the ball over to Brisket.
And then just boot it.
And
there's the influence taken away for that concussion.
And well remembered from James there. Oh my god, Boar's card ended up back.
What's going
further
on?
Behind.
So this kick's going to go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
Yeah. The kick is successful.
Nailed it.
Direction 2, distance 1.
That's unfortunate.
Perfect for the Butchers.
It's unfortunate for James.
Yeah. It centres on the spot, and Brisket can snap it.
So just to get a catch-up on time, there's 37 minutes on the round timer. There are 15 minutes and 21 seconds on the clock of...
Now, I
Is
don't
that
think...
James's clock?
Yep.
So we've got 15 minutes on James's clock, and we've got 14 and a half minutes on Mike's. So very close on the clocks now. The clocks have evened up.
I can't believe James didn't take the dodge and do all the safe stuff. I think he wanted to win it flashy.
No, I mean, it's either that or it's, just rush of blood to the head.
Yeah, I mean...
Didn't realise the safe option, because that's what's got him here. He's played so safe. He's very
Harry has gone crazy and is hitting Fillet.
So Harry goes crazy.
Needs 4s.
Which puts Harry on 6.
Yep. Takes a momentous knockdown.
So momentous knockdown onto Fillet.
Yeah. And she has a stack of influence, all that tokens in that little pile.
In the middle of the pitch, just where James's hand is there.
Yeah.
She's already... The
knockdown gets thrown to the pile. Oh my god.
That's big roll.
That
on
is
the knockdown, snared, on fire.
Yeah. Can you make it bleed? Momentous
3 with the double push, which will put Philip onto 10 health.
And the wrap is a momentous push.
So just getting some momentum out here.
Yep. So 3 inches in a straight line.
So obviously pushes all have to be in the same direction. You can't change direction with pushes, and you just add up all of those push results.
Yep. Pushing her away.
3 inches of push, straight line.
Don't push it towards Midas. So James made a mistake there, I believe. he had it screamed an obscenity. I'm not sure exactly what it's regarding, though.
No.
All right. So 4 momentum for James. Harry's activation over. And back to the Butchers. He has 4 influence on Brisket.
And they're doing a good job of keeping up with momentum here.
Yep. We had Ed from the last game, TOing, being judge, making sure that he was there to track momentum, as there was quite some confusion between Henry and Michael.
During that game, the field got a bit messy. There were things being forgotten, so we made sure that Ed was armed with a pen and paper to keep track of all the momentum that was going on in the game, just to make sure. I mean, it's even more important when you're looking at what's generally going to be a goal-scoring Midas team to make sure that all the momentum's in the right place as it should be.
Yeah, and Michael there checking
Captain
out
Confetti.
Yeah, Captain Confetti.
Throwing some more tokens out on the pitch.
Yeah.
Come on, Michael, go by your right hand up in that corner. Look how many tokens you've got that you could throw in that pile that Philip owns. There's just so many there. Just chuck them in.
I have no idea what's in Philip's pile. I mean, I know what conditions she's suffering. I know she's tooled up, but I have no idea on influence numbers.
Nope. 4, maybe.
Yeah.
Just going on what's been spent and what's available.
So So remaining for the Alchemists, we've got Compound and Nausea. When the goal is scored.
And Midas. Midas hasn't gone yet.
Oh, yes, true, yeah. When the goal is scored, surely Nausea takes the ball.
Yeah.
Because Philip can't do anything.
So moved up with the ball. Brisket.
Yep.
Going for a shot on goal. So going for a Dirty Knives first.
On Harry. Stop.
Does another 1 damage. So just plinking away on Harry here. I believe Harry's on 5 health now.
Oh, really? So something we've been saying the entire tournament is don't be scared of Rising Anger.
But if you're going to make the most of it, if you're going to go all in,
you've got to go all in, which you might be doing with Philip, because he scores here, he kills Harry.
Yeah, entirely possible, but I don't think you needed that 1 damage to do that. And that's a goal for the Butchers. So
Brisket scores.
8-4 to Brisket here. So opts not to Jodge. Words are hard, guys. Words are hard. And there, finally, the pile of goodies that's on Philip
makes its way
back to the rightful
James
owner.
here thinking of going
straight down the middle.
Forwards.
Route 1
straight. Hope it scatters to
Get
Midas.
us a good scatter. He's going to be hoping for a scatter on the 2 or 3.
3-6. Confirmed.
Going for a mighty hoof.
3 in the 2, so it's going in the right direction. Not quite.
So I'm not sure. I think that concussion might have saved it.
Potentially.
Because I think there's only 2 on Midas now.
Yep.
So you can't run. Well, and super shot.
He can. I think he can still do it. I think he can clear conditions. He can heroic to get 2-inch dodge, sprint, pick it up, make a shot.
Possibly.
And you take the.
It's going to take a penalty for where Boar is.
I don't think you need to. I think you 2-inch dodge towards, you sprint, and then you clear. You make a path on the other side. To try and make it
so you're avoiding.
So you go round Boar.
Yeah.
Well, granted, you have to go a long way to get there.
So I'm assuming this is James measuring out the play Jamie was just describing.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't actually tell. It may be way less complicated than it looks, and Midas may have more influence, but I think he's got 2.
It looks like two goal influence.
Yeah. Which he earned. So.
And it's definitely. There.
So spends momentum to clear condition.
Yep. So checking the melee zone of Boar.
Yep.
Now this is where the heroic.
So the heroic needs to go That was 7 in. They've just where that first proxy base is next to the 1-inch widget near the ball. That was a 7-inch move.
Yep, it's a walk.
So they're just checking that with. So yeah, Michael now happy that there is a viable line. So again, clean play. This is a peculiar one for a final. We've seen a lot more tense games than this, and yes, it's very close, but the players seem very, very friendly.
Yep.
So he goes for.
He's gone for the walk for the super shot and shot on goal.
Yep.
5 dice down to 4 with the bonus time. So he failed a 4 dice shot needing 2 threes. Can he get a 4 dice shot needing a 4 to win Vengeance?
You would assume this is going to be in the bag for James here. So 4 dice needing 1 4.
Super shot bonus time takes him to 5. -1.
Just getting clarification with the judge before the dice roll to make sure this is correct. And the dice roll, and it's
successful.
A good game there. The handshake goes off.
They're going in for a hug.
And there we go. They hug it out.
Big hug.
Really, really good game. Really, really loud in my ears when those mics clashed into each other. That was lovely. But yeah, fantastic game. It was really well played. Michael was on the back foot basically from the first activation of turn 2.
Yeah.
He managed to eke it out. There was a bit of a. We won't say it was a misplay because generally speaking, you'd suspect that it was going to be successful. It wasn't. On that attempt at the snapshot. It was kind of risky when it didn't need to be risky. There was a way safer play to be made.
Yeah.
He opted for the flashy, maybe tunnel visioned a bit.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when you've got that much of a lead, when it
you
starts off with a legendary that big.
Yeah, hitting 4 players. I mean,
with no one around to be able to get the momentum to get rid of that.
As we have seen the entire tournament, if you're going up against a team that has unpredictable movement, especially on a captain, you've got it on your mascot, you've got clone, you've got a model that countercharges with 2-inch, you need more 2-inch in your team. It is a fundamental part of doing well in Guild Ball. It's being able to attack without being counter-attacked, to engage without being
don't engage in that peace trade.
Yeah.
Just don't take part in that peace trade. No. You take what you want and you don't give them anything.
No.
On that vein, play of the game.
Yeah, Venom.
I'd say in the goad.
Yes.
It was that goad on Philip.
Harry's
using
goad.
That barrier perfectly,
Denying,
meaning that Philip couldn't
6
do
influence
anything.
to stop anything, keeping her pinned in the middle of the pitch. She's snared, she's on fire. You can only move towards me. If you come right in, you're getting pushed away.
What makes Compound happy is knowing that there's a captain with some influence on it.
Yep.
That to get anywhere
has to come into
his zone. What makes Compound sad? About where you in the way. Ruined his fun. But did manage to get, I think every turn, all we saw Meat Hook do.
Tool up
Philip.
Tool up.
And I think all we saw Philip do was nothing.
Yep.
Philip did nothing all game. Completely shut down, showing what we said at the start about how comfortable James is playing that matchup.
Well, I was going to say, as we said, he plays against Butchers quite frequently in his own little meta, and it showed in that game. He knew exactly what to do.
So comfortable in that game.
Sometimes when playing against Philip, and I have it myself, I have these horrible memories of games where she has come in and rinsed me, taken out Tapper in one turn, and I'm like, you get that fear of a model.
Yep.
James just did not have that at all against anyone. And he was like, right, you can only engage me in my captain with Boar. Boar is slow to begin with. If I can get snared out on him, he just is out of this game, and you cannot touch my captain.
Interestingly, we saw the Midas legendary, heroic used only ever for movement.
Only ever for movement, yep.
And why was that only for movement? Because Michael had one player that could threaten Midas. He didn't need the extra armor. The only player that was Boar.
Yep.
Who was snared literally the entire game.
Yep.
The only time that Boar was able to move his full distance, he was positioned incorrectly and it set up the first goal.
Yeah.
That was the only time he was able to move that distance.
And as you said, some guys in chat said that first goal seemed far too easy. That was a misplay from Michael for pushing Boar so far up the pitch.
Yeah.
He should have been...
He didn't check that threat range first. He didn't think it all the way through. He moved him too far forward. He wanted to get Boar into the game. Yeah. In that sort of game, especially with the lineup you're taking...
Play it back.
Boar needs to be you've sent Midas in, and Boar is the reason that you now have to make a choice on whether you want to be taking this dodge back or not, because Boar will get you if you don't. But yeah, really well played by James. Apart from that snapshot, pretty flawless performance.
All very
Apart
clean.
From the weird widget where we had a Midas ready to take a shot, and then Michael just picked up the widget that was Midas.
Yeah. And then also when he finished his activation in tapping range and Michael tried to swat him away.
A repeat of Steve Newton's antics last year when he smacked Mr. Eslands away with a 6-inch widget.
Oh, no. maybe it's just a Midas thing.
Yeah, well, let's be real. Probably is a Midas thing. But yeah, amazing game.
Yeah.
These are going to be going up on YouTube.
They will be, yeah.
They will look a bit nicer on YouTube because it won't be reliant on the bit rate that we can stream at here.
No, super crisp.
I hope everybody's enjoyed watching.
I have indeed.
I've very much enjoyed
I've enjoyed
commentating.
commentating. Please, when these videos do go out, let us know if you have enjoyed them. Say in the Twitch chat now or email into community@steamforged.com for any feedback.
Or just on the Twitters.
Or just on Twitter for any feedback, good or bad, so we can improve for our next ones. We want to make these a more regular event, basically. Yeah. So that's Vengeance. Congratulations to James Long. He is 2017's Vengeance champion, and Alchemists lift the cup.
Fantastic. Well done to James. Fantastic play. Fantastic final. Really entertaining final.
And check out on tiebreak.co.uk for more events near you. And also, if you are watching the stream now, get on there to see, as these results come in on the tables next to us, who comes second and third based on strength of schedule.
And before we disappear, a massive thank you to Element Games for having us.
Yes, definitely. Thank you to Element Games. They've hosted a brilliant event. The venue's come on leaps and bounds since last Vengeance, and that's probably why we are more than happy to be here this time and representing Steamforged.
Yeah. So there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Please give us some feedback. It's been a pleasure.
Goodbye.